Celebration time. It don't matter what part of the jewel you come from. You da you and me da me. But guess what? All are we the one. See what I mean? Jump and shout all over the nation. We're breaking out with a new creation.
Like many Belizeans, Barbara Renault left her birth country decades ago to make a better life in the United States of America. Renault sat down with her Belize Watch team to speak about her dad, well-known personality Bob Renault. She spoke of his influence in her life and how she strives to give back to those in need in Belize. We will have her story after we hear from our partners. Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust, the Barry, Shell Belize, and the National Gas Company.
The facilities at NGC have been engineered to the highest standards. No other LPG facility in this country has the technology, health and safety considerations, and accurate industry-accepted measurement technology as does NGC. Under the watchful eye of the control room, Bowsers are loaded with LPG to deliver to the 2 depots inland and to the many bulk storage facilities owned by customers all over the country, where the wholesale price is one single levelized national price. Now that NGC has entered the market, competition exists for the provision of LPG both at the wholesale level for acquisition and importation through a transparent tendering system and downstream by more than 30 retailers throughout the country.
The National Gas Company of Belize, fueling Belize forward.
Since 2008, the Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust has created opportunities for Belizeans to develop themselves and their communities. The Trust employs tools that are intuitive, collaborative, and accessible so that every Belizean is empowered to achieve their full potential. Over 200,000 Belizeans have been impacted because of our various initiatives. The Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust, empowering Belizeans of today to create the Belize of tomorrow.
We are the Barry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio Cayo, Orange, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. The Barry. Get more? Be less.
Shell V-Power, with 3 times more cleaning and friction-reducing molecules. Go well! Go Shell!
It don't matter what part of the jewel you come from.
And another person that I have the honor and pleasure of meeting again after so many years and linking up with again here in the Miami area, Barbara Renault. That's right. Right? And we have to pay tribute to Ray Gongora, to Andrew, Andrew Fraser, to Cecil McCoy, and the others, that were involved in putting all this together, and thank them for arranging this for us. We were at Ray Gongora's home. Let's just establish that here in, we call this place again, Pembroke Pines? Pembroke Pines. Yes. Okay, that's where we are at this point in time. And Barbara Renault is visiting. Hi, Barbara.
How are you?
It's been a while since I've seen you, right?
Well, I know, my dear. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yes. Quite so.
And the folks are saying, well, how do you know one another? Right? Well, Barbara Renault, guys, is the daughter of Robert Renault, who was a famous broadcaster at Radio Belize for many years, and who I had the pleasure, honor, and privilege of working with. Robert Bob Renault. I have a lot of memories of Robert Bob Renault. And of course, you must have been much young. No, that's how young you are.
I'm one of Daddy's girl. I'm one of Daddy's girl. One of them. One of Daddy's girl. Yes.
Your father was an outstanding broadcaster, and before we get into your life, I would just like for us to reflect a little bit on his life, because I know he has passed, and he passed away at a good, ripe age of?
97.
97, okay. That's very good.
Right now he's 101. Yes, if he was alive.
If he was alive, he'd have been 101 today. Which may, no, we're not going now. We're not going there, right? I left that one alone.
Let him rest. But he's going to love talking about himself. He can hear us.
Well, let's look at tell me about your dad. What do you remember of your dad?
My dad is my icon. He, how can I say? I was proud for him to be my dad. You know, he taught me a lot of things that I wanted to do. He encourages me to do things. Like whatever I wanted, whatever I would do, anything, he says, okay, Pet, that's good, go ahead. You know, that's how Daddy talks. That's how he talks. So he encourages me to do a lot of things that I have done. So he's definitely my icon, for sure.
I always remember him as a positive person. He was always positive. I cannot recall growing up as a young boy, because obviously I was very young when I started at Radio Belize. I was 17 years old. And your dad was one of the most senior announcers at Radio Belize at the time. So all of us looked up to him, you know, as an example. But he was always positive, and whenever you ask him anything, whenever you wanted to learn something, your dad was always willing to share the knowledge he had. And that's what I would recall.
Yes, man, go ahead. Yes, man, that's good. That's how he talks, right?
The same mannerisms.
He would say that. He said that to all of us. He said that to all of us. If we're doing something good or bad, he never says nothing negative, always positive, you know? And we don't say that. We say Daddy. Daddy, what do you think? What do you think, Pet? I like to do things with my hands. And I said, Dad, what do you think? Looks good. You like it that way? Go ahead. He encourages you to be you, if you know what I'm saying.
That's right.
He encouraged me to do what I have done.
And
So
I'll be missing out if I don't say that a lot of the choreographers in Belize, a lot of the young dance groups in Belize owe their origin to Bob Renault and the pioneering work that he did in choreography.
yeah, because of that, my being with the Belize Association and being head of pageants, I always have ideas of how to put the dance thing together. I would call Daddy. I said, Daddy, what do you think? And he says, okay, you know what? I'm coming down. He always comes down. I know what I want, but I didn't know how to put it together. And he helps me do that, because I always have the insight of how to do things. And he would say, that's a great idea. We put that to work. He does it, and it works. It works, yes.
I think I would like to see maybe some dance group or groups get together and honor his memory, really, with dance. Because even as a broadcaster, I can remember him in the studios, you know, in between the breaks and what have you, rehearsing dance moves, right? You know, because he was so dedicated to the choreography of dancing, to music, to different arts, all interconnected, right. You know, right. That he would even rehearse while on duty at the station. And as a young technician, I used to watch him doing that.
He did that because I remember as a young girl when he did crab time.
Crab time,
My
I remember
dad
the crab time.
literally brought a crab at home and put the car on the table to see how it walks. Right. And he gets that idea to do crab time. It was at the time, you know, you're young, you're looking for boys. So I'm like, what is he doing? No. But as you get older and I get into the same thing like him, I realize my dad is a great dad. He's smart, he's our icon. We all love Daddy, all of us.
Unique character. I'm happy to be able to have this conversation with you about your dad because I was a young 17-year-old boy when I met him. Yeah. And, you know, the impressions are always there. Over all these years, the impressions are always there. So it's happy to be able to say that Robert Renault, Bob Renault, was one of the good broadcasters or great broadcasters of Radio Belize in those days. I can remember he had a style like he when he would say, "This is Radio Belize," right? He would put his hand like that. "This is Radio Belize." I don't know why he covered one ear, but he would always, you know, we didn't have television, so no one saw that. He would just put his hand over his ear and he'd say, "This is Radio Belize, the voice of the new Central American nation of Belize in the heart of the Caribbean basin. We unite to build a nation, and we keep our dollars working at home when we buy Belizean products." And then he moves his hand. The time now is so. That's
him. That's my dad. I remember I did something once with one of the pageants, right? And I'm trying to put this dance together, and I remember that he did the one with the baskets. So I said to Sherry, you know, she was on the committee with us, the president at the time. I said, "Daddy," I said, "what do you think?" I says, "I want to do this special dance." I picked my music, of course. And the way I did it, and he called me, he said, "Bob's darling," he said, "Darling, I am so proud of what you did." He didn't come for that show. I did it in a way that when I did the dance with the girls, they did "Good morning, good morning." That one, they came out on the floor sleeping, and they came out with "Good morning, good morning." Yeah. And then we did the basket, and they came out. I'm so proud of my country. Each person came out with Belize, dancing with the basket. They turn the basket over, it says B. The next person come out with the basket, says I. And so Daddy saw that, they say, "I am so proud of you." I am not the choreographer. It's just a thought that came into my mind because learning from him. But I was proud of me for doing that too. When I looked at it, I said, "Oh my God, this is beautiful." So Daddy says, and Norman, my brother, because he does all my writing and all of that, he said, "B, you take away Daddy thing." No, it's just a thought that came to me to do that, you know. But I like what it, and I have a granddaughter. She's just like her grandfather. Oh, yeah? She choreographs. Wow. She's a photographer. She sings. Her name is Athena Lightburn, and she is one of Belize's first Miss Caribbean Queen.
Wow. What is she doing right now professionally?
Right now she's doing photography. She's a
professional photographer? Okay.
For babies. She just started, but now she's teaching dancing. Like that. I mean, she does the work. She came to my house and said, "Grands, I need a skirt." I said, "Skirt? What for?" He says, "Grands, I am teaching." I said, "What are you teaching?" "I'm teaching dancing, Grands." I said, "What kind?" "Like Granddad." I said, "Like Granddad." When Jeanette said, "Did you see your Facebook?" I said, "What's on Facebook?" He said, "You should see your granddaughter. Just like Daddy." He said, "That child is just like her grandfather."
Because he was always dancing, you know. He would.
You mentioned something just now about you wish you could have somebody do some of Daddy's work. She's one of them.
Well, that would be fine. That would be great. I would be happy to attend to assist in any way because
she is good. I'm telling you.
I tell you, you take a commercial break, right? And he just introduced the commercial break, and then you see him spring to his feet and do some move like that or some move like that and hum something or the other, and then he comes out in the he comes out in the
and he does just like that, and he hums.
And then when it's time again, when it's time for him to say something, "This is Radio Belize."
He trained a lot of the kids for pageant, and he's very strict. He's a loving teacher and a great teacher, but he's extremely strict.
He retired at the age of 65, right, and then came to live in the United States. So he lived there for I lost track of him when he
died. Yes, until he passed.
I lost track of him then when he went.
He was also a big part of the what's the name of the Baha'i? He was very big in that. Very big. He did a lot of.
Ward.
Yes, he did a lot there. A lot. Yes.
So I can remember him visiting Belize. I think one time after when he had moved away,
Right.
and I think that's the last time I saw him. I forget how many years ago it was.
He was a guy. He lived right across the street from there. It's a beautiful. Have you been there?
Where?
In Chicago?
Yes, I've been to Chicago.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Have you been to the temple?
No, I've not been to the Baha'i temple.
God, it's something to see.
Yeah. But I know he was a devout Baha'i
No,
because
he was a guide.
guide at the
Yes.
temple.
Oh yes.
Well, I did
Oh
not
yes.
go to the temple.
He sings, he dances, he teaches them. He does a lot. Yeah, he plays his piano as usual and his guitar, you know.
Yeah, he plays as well. I mean, he was so many things, you know, but
Drums, you know, he does everything.
you can
And
tell.
then he sings.
And he sings too, right? So you can tell as a young broadcaster, he impressed me a lot, right? As a young boy coming up as a technical assistant broadcaster and what have you, you know, he impressed me a whole lot as to the artistry behind the man, you know.
Right.
So our good friend Bob Renault, rest in peace.
Amen. Yes.
Now, let's turn to you.
Uh-huh. What did I do?
I don't know.
Let's
you
find
do and
out.
tell me now. Now,
Okay.
Barbara, you were born in Belize City, right? So let's start there.
Okay.
Tell me the story.
What do you need to know about me?
I want to know when you're born, how you grew up, and what it was like in Belize when you were growing up, and that kind of thing. What school you gone?
Holy
You know.
Redeemer School, and from there I went to Palote High School,
What part of the city you born?
King Street.
King Street?
King Street, and from there we went to Amara Avenue. And then, of course, I went to school, regular Holy Redeemer. Then from there I went to Palote High School. There, at the age of 14, 15, I met my kid's dad.
You fell in love at that early age, Barbara?
Sir, yes, sir, you know. And then I also went to night school as well. And I was also involved with the Red Cross and cadets with my mom. And I was like 14 at the time too. And my mom was highly involved with the Red Cross. And I was under her, under Mrs. Stromwell at the age of 14. And we used to go to the hospital, you know, to like pray for people. We went to the poorhouse. We did little things like that. And from ever since, I liked doing things like that, reaching out to people, making people feel good, you know, little things like that.
Any experience would come quickly to your mind as a young girl moving around Belize in that manner? Any, like somebody you meet that maybe caused an impression on you?
Well, I don't know. I don't think so. I'm always, like my mom used to say, child, school is over. Why don't you come home? You like the street. I like company. I always have a lot of friends, a lot of friends. I go to school. Hi, B. My mom says, who's that? We're just sitting down to eat lunch. Mommy says, you know, hey, you bring company. You know, we grew up very poor. We were happy kids. But Mommy says, tell the young lady you're going to meet her. I said, Mommy, I'm late for school. Tell the young lady you're going to meet her. I like the street. I like the company. I come from school late. I go to school early. I'm one of the kids who, Mrs. Jack used to be my teacher at that time, Holy Redeemer. I would pass somebody's yard that always have flowers tree. I would take a branch from somebody's tree and take it to my school and put it in my teacher's desk. I'm one of those. Yes. And I'm a hands-on kid from ever since. My teacher would say, who's so? My teacher's desk is always nice. I'm like that. Hands-on, there for people, my teachers, my sisters that taught me in school. That's the way I am.
So tell me about the family, your brothers and sisters.
My brothers and sisters, they were awesome. I'm the eldest of my mother's children. I'm the eldest one. It's Barbara, then we had Junior, then you had Frankie, Norman, Jeanette, Cynthia, and Carolyn.
And all in the United States?
They're all here, yes. You know, a couple of them died. Frankie passed away. But everybody else is here, right here. A couple of them is in Norman, and Junior is in California. Carolyn is here, Janet is here, and I'm here.
What caused the family to migrate to the United States? How did that happen?
Mommy migrated to America when I was like 18. And right after that, I came after that too. Right after that, I had my first child. So I went to America at the age of 18, right behind Mom.
What created the desire to migrate? Was it the conditions in Belize at the time or opportunity over here?
Mommy went at the time after the hurricane.
Hurricane Hattie, yeah.
After the hurricane, that's when Mommy went. My first little baby boy, his name is Michael, he was born with a bad heart. So Mommy says, you know, my brother was already in the States, junior. And he was also in the Army already. And he sent for Mom, and she said, I'm going to go and see if I could, get stuff ready so I can send for Michael so doctor can see him. But it didn't work out that way. Like, Mommy left like this Saturday, and Michael passed like the Sunday, right behind, And shortly after that, Mommy sent for me. And then I went, and then I came back, got married, and started having babies again. And after that, a few years after that, that's all she wrote. I was back in America for good.
Our thanks to the Ministry of Tourism and Diaspora Relations for partnering with our Belize Watch team to bring the stories of Belizeans in the diaspora who continue to work to improve the lives of Belizeans at home.
The future is ours. This is Belize. We welcome you back home, if only for a visit. The government of Belize is committed to mobilizing a productive partnership with you, the Diaspora. With that in mind, the government has created the Diaspora Relations Unit within the Ministry of Tourism and Diaspora Relations. The general objectives of the unit are to raise Belize's profile on the international stage, grow the economy by increasing exports and attracting inward investments, promote trade, provide information and support to Belizeans abroad, encourage expertise exchange and identify opportunities for philanthropy. Developing an effective relationship with each of you will offer a platform from which to showcase Belize's excellence and generate much-needed exchange of ideas and resources. Our vision: an inclusive and participatory Belizean society, where every Belizean contributes to national development and shares in the benefits thereof, notwithstanding place of residency. Composition of the unit: Ambassador for Diaspora Relations, non-resident, Senior Liaison Officer, Liaison Officer, Secretary, Office Assistant. Knowing and understanding you is crucial to engaging effectively. You must be involved and included in the development of our country. We will engage you through our registry, online outreach, other initiatives, and awareness campaigns tailored to bringing you back home while enjoying the benefits offered. Empowering our diaspora includes mobilizing the transfer of skills and resources. Government will empower this process by introducing special measures and programs in different fields of expertise. Dissemination of information is key and serves to heighten awareness of various products and services. Our website is one such example of empowering our Belizeans abroad. Through the website, valuable information will be shared worldwide with you, the members of the diaspora. Maintaining the connection is widely regarded as important for the development of our country. Staying connected will give you access to regularly updated news, relevant resources, learning and funding opportunities. We encourage you to stay connected to your home country by participating in programs designed to facilitate diaspora engagement. The interaction we have with you is only going to increase as technology and communications allow you to play a role without returning home. In addition to remittances, you have contributed generously to the Belizean community by donating food, clothing, education, and medical supplies. The Diaspora Relations Unit is committed to maintaining active connections with you as we continue to create positive changes in our country. We are always here for you. Visit our website at belizediaspora.bz or email us at diaspora.relations@tourism.gov.bz.
The facilities at NGC have been engineered to the highest standards. No other LPG facility in this country has the technology, health and safety considerations, and accurate industry-accepted measurement technology as does NGC. Under the watchful eye of the control room, Bowsers are loaded with LPG to deliver to the 2 depots inland and to the many bulk storage facilities owned by customers all over the country, where the wholesale price is one single levelized national price. Now that NGC has entered the market, competition exists for the provision of LPG both at the wholesale level for acquisition and importation through a transparent tendering system and downstream by more than 30 retailers throughout the country.
The National Gas Company of Belize, fueling Belize forward.
Since 2008, the Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust has created opportunities for Belizeans to develop themselves and their communities. The Trust employs tools that are intuitive, collaborative, and accessible so that every Belizean is empowered to achieve their full potential. Over 200,000 Belizeans have been impacted because of our various initiatives. The Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust, empowering Belizeans of today to create the Belize of tomorrow.
We are Barry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, Sa Ignacio Cayo, Orange, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. Barry. Get more? Pay less.
Shell V-Power, with 3 times more cleaning and friction-reducing molecules. Go well! Go Shell!
It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from.
No. Tell me, Hurricane Hattie is the hurricane that changed the face of Belize forever. Yes. The destiny of many Belizeans, because the U.S. just opened its borders and says, okay, come across, we'll help you to start a new life. No. What can you recall sitting here at Hurricane Hattie? Because as we know, October is coming, and October will be the anniversary of Hurricane Hattie, 31st of October. So what can you recall?
Well, you know, it's funny. Hurricane, you think it's scary, but we had fun, if you know what I mean.
You had fun during Hurricane Hattie?
We were staying at the mess up. And we were packing all these bags and things to put on the floor and beddings. And then my mom, she wanted to have a heart attack because the wind is coming strong. And she said, where's that kid? That's Junior. Mm-hmm. He went with his friend Bowden. Mm-hmm. They said they're going to vamp the streets. They're going to vamp the streets and all that rain and stuff. And Mommy wanted to have a heart attack.
Of course. If anybody had seen the streets of Belize City after Hurricane Hattie, and you hear that somebody wanted to go and do whatever on the streets.
It was just raining, but we were
talking pre-hurricane.
We packed up and went to mess up, and they were bored. So him and his friend, Mr. Bowden, they took the streets. Mm-hmm. They went to the streets. And we actually watched from the mess up window, house coming down. We saw that, yes, from where we were. And you can see in those iron in the ceiling, yes. You see it going like that. That was scary then. Scary, yeah. That was very, very scary until everything calmed down. Then it was sad because our neighbor downstairs, when we went there to make sure everybody was okay, they had a young baby, the baby flew to their hand. It was kind of sad though. It was sad. And even though I was a young girl, I remember going downstairs and helping out too. Mommy keeps saying, child, put something on your feet. You could get cut with something, on the ground. Mm-hmm. But when I heard that Miss Lopez lost her grandbaby, they flew out of her hands. Mm-hmm. It was kind of sad. You're crying and people bawling, and we were sad. People live in mud. But we were kind of good in a way because we were upstairs.
Okay. Your house did not go?
The house did not go, no. Mm-hmm. So we had a home to come home to after that. And shortly after that, Mommy took to the, well, she was already in the Red Cross like myself. So she was there night and day at the Red Cross, giving people food, sheets, stuff like that. And I stayed home with the little ones, you know, to make sure everything was okay.
So when the opportunity came for her to migrate to the United States, she took it because it was easy to migrate at that time.
Yes, it was.
And then after your dad retired from Radio Belize, is when he joined her in the United States and lived the rest of his life in the United States.
Yes, he was. He did. But he got Daddy and Mom had divorced, and then he got remarried. He had remarried.
Okay, I thought he had joined her because...
No, they went, but then he remarried.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very lovely lady, Rosemary.
Okay.
Very lovely lady as well. Yes.
See? I'm learning about my friend Bob.
He was not easy. He was not an easy dad, but he was a loving dad, you know. And he loved his kids, you know, but he also loved what he did. He loved that. My mommy said, "Hi, dance and sing. This man dance and sing. Loves his dance and sing." Loved his dance and sing.
Yeah. No, you came to the United States at age 18. What did you start off doing when you came to the States?
Well, not really.
Besides having children.
I just went with I went with my mom and visit over there, and of course I liked it. And then I went back home, and I went back home, and I just stayed like 3 months, and then I went back home, and that's when I got married.
Oh, you got married. You came, went back home, and then you get married, and then you came back to the States.
I came back to the States.
How long after you married?
I came back. Let me see. Herbie was like 3 years old when I left.
3 years.
He was the last baby boy. Was 3.
So you stayed in Belize for quite some time then. With your husband, you were in Belize for quite some time.
Yes.
So how many years after that initial contact with the United States did you actually migrate to the United States?
I migrated to the United States actually when I was about like 29.
So many years.
29. I came back, I came back 29.
And at 29,
29, yes.
what prompted that decision to migrate? Since you already had a family in Belize, what would prompt that?
You know, it's I had a good marriage, but you know, circumstances, after cases, it wasn't working out. So, my mom said, you know what? She just sent for me, and I went, and that was all she wrote.
So you stayed until now.
Yes. Well, I visited. You know, I love my Belize, so I'm always visiting here and there. My kids went to school here and so forth, you know. But they all went to college here, high school. Got married here, grandkids here. I don't have any grandkids at home. They all were born here. All here. All in the United States. Wow. Yes.
And did you work? Did you work anywhere, or?
Oh yes.
Where did you?
I worked at Congo Life Insurance Company first there, and I was there for like 12 years. And after that, I went to Vitas, that's where I retired from. I was at Vitas for 19 years. At Vitas Cell Corporation, I was there for 19 years. I retired there when I was 67. I retired from Vitas.
So now you're just relaxing now.
I know. I got myself involved with doing stuff for my country and my people.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no.
What do you do for your country? Let's get to that.
Well, how can I say this now? I had some friends at home in situations. Like I said, I'm always visiting home. And
how often you visit? You say you always visit, but how often was that?
Sometimes twice a year.
Twice a year? That's quite a lot.
My story with doing stuff for Belize was 1 year I went home on Christmas time. And I always go with my niece Carlota. She has her kids with Galvez. And we went to buy Brody's. And there was this little girl sitting on the sidewalk in front of Brody's, no shoe on. So I said, Miss, give me 5 cents. And then I look at this little girl sitting on the sidewalk. So I said, what are you doing down there? I said, I forget the child's name. And she says, I said, where's your shoe? Me not got no shoes, miss. So I says, where is your dad? And the young man said to me, I promise. The guy was selling newspaper. So I said to him, I says, is it okay? Because my niece said to me, he said, B, you have to watch that, because I put up them kids for these things. This is my niece is telling me this, right? So I said to her, I said, no, I said, let me, I said to the young man, I said, is it okay if I take this little girl to get her something? It's okay, miss. So I took the little girl into Brody's, and I tell her, I says, take what you want. Poor thing, she don't even know. So I pick up cornflakes and different things. And I said, you don't mind? He said, no, ma'am. The young man thanked me. He said, thank you, me. Thank you so very much. I gave the I didn't give him any money. I gave the kids, the child, the bag of stuff. So when I did that now and then, I got some apples also and put it in the bag. So Carlota said to me, he said, Aunt B, you have something else, I said, Carlota, it's Christmas, like that I said. So then I came back here to the States. And I said, you know what? This can't happen. I got to do something about that. And I remember talking to Mommy about that. So Mommy said, child, so what you want about it? I said, Mommy, you know what? I have some friends I believe that are very poor. I'm going to get in touch with them. And I got in touch. Mommy said, why don't you talk to the people in the Red Cross? Yeah. And that's when I got in touch with that Mrs. Courtney. Oh, Mrs. Courtney, she was still there. See, Mrs. Courtney was still, that's when I first met Mrs. Courtney. Yeah. And my comadre also worked at the Red Cross, Hattie. I said, Hattie, listen, I want to do something. What can I do to help these people? He said, Babs, girl, you could do a lot of things. Because a lot of poor people there. I said, like, what can I do? He says, clothes, everything and anything. So I said, okay, I'm going to start something. And where I was living, my first thing I did was toy drive. Okay. My first toy drive at Charitable. And that turned out huge. Wow. And then I collected clothes. And, I mean, you name it, I did it. I have this place that you can go and get toys wholesale. My sister worked in that area. And she says, okay, B, I want to get some toys. When I say people bring toys, I'm talking from June, look, all these people bring toys. All my friends bring toys. They bring toys that they bring big toys. So I said to them, I said, oh my God. I said to Sherry, I said, sure, you can't give one kid that one big toy. So I said, so B, what you going to do? I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. Now, I do this in a way that I want everybody to get something. So I said to Hattie, I said, Hattie, I'm sending the package now. Now, all this time, I'm in touch with the guy from the airport. And they gave us a break through the Red Cross to let the things go for little or nothing. I mean, I worked that out with them. And I said, okay, anything that's big, I want you to raffle. Or whatever that is raffle, that money goes to the poorhouse to feed the people from the helpage. So any toy that is huge is being raffled, the money from that goes to the helpage. That's how I worked it out. And nothing at all that I send is important for me because I wanted to see how it works. I did one Christmas and I went there and I said, Hattie, I want to see how this works. I went there and I couldn't, the toys was late to get it from the what do you call it? The
customs.
Customs. It was hard, and the same day as the Christmas party. So I said, Hattie, how you get all these kids? He says, what they do, all the schools has a lot of poor kids. They go to the schools and ask the teachers will pick out the kids that really need the poor kids, and they get an invitation. I wanted to know how it works. And these are the kids come with this invitation to the function. Then I have my niece, Annie Tillit. She's just catering. She always give 100, what do you call it? The cupcakes, yes, cupcakes. She always does that. I mean, I beg and I beg there too. I beg all over. And I said, okay, finally we got trucks and we got this stuff cleared up from customs. Now it's running late now. See, B, you remember if you bring the Santa suit? I said, yes, I have the Santa suit. I sent the Santa suit.
Oh, you weren't the Santa though?
No. I have the Santa suit. So now, No, the people that are doing these things at the Red Cross doesn't know who I am. Mrs. Courtney know who I am. They didn't know who I am. So now I want to see how they do it. I watch. A lot of the toys are always nice toys. The helpers, I understand. Ooh, it's going to be good for my granddaughter. Ooh, like a couple of them did that. My friend did this. I said, I see. So when it was all done, and I would say, okay, what about those toys over there? Those toys over there also goes, because I separate how I do the packages. I have, for babies, I have a couple of boxes by themselves. Then I have girls by themselves, boys by themselves. But they don't have to dig for nothing. Boys, infants, and girls. So they don't have to dig for anything. Everything's already assorted. Because even here, when I have it done, I have workers, my sisters, my friends, even Glenda, they all come. Glenda's mom, my mom, they go in and they, repack, they pack. And I talk boxes and boxes, including my son, Herbie. He was big on that too. Taping up, getting back, begging this, begging that. I mean, it was awesome. And I remember Mrs. Courtney came down, finally. Like I said, these people didn't know who I was. They didn't know I was watching them until Mrs. Courtney said, I'd like you to meet the lady, the person who is responsible for doing all this. Wow. All this time, and sending boxes of clothes and different things. And then she said, this is Mrs. Renault. The people, the ladies over there opened their eye when they knew it was me, that I saw them doing that. I called them aside and I talked with them. You don't have to do that. These are for the poor kids.
For the kids. Why would you take it out because you have it there?
Well, people do that, you know that. Yeah, you know that. And then the same thing applies to the feeding of the soup day. It's amazing. You have a huge family. You don't know who has from who doesn't have. I am there with them one morning to help with this in the soup kitchen. Right at the side of the Red Cross. There I comes my own family coming up to get some clothes and something to eat. It's sad.
And you're taking things that they don't really need it, but they come for it. That's what you're saying, or what you're saying? What you're saying? What you're saying there?
I'm saying it's amazing. You're trying to reach out, and even your own is in that same predicament that you don't.
Yes. Okay. I see. Yeah, that is so true.
It breaks your heart to see that. I'm here giving out to people where I say, oh my God, that's Raymond, Aunt Emily's son. I mean, look at me. Hi, Babs. I feel bad, too, And of course, after everything is done, I say, where you at, Ray? He said, I hung with the same place, Babs. Of course, I found him after that and I took care of him, But I'm saying the thing you see when you go home with our people. A lot of people are suffering at home, A lot of people needs. And it gives me pleasure to do all these things. I've been doing it for years. For years I've been doing that, many, many years, until I retired.
So how can people here in the diaspora better help to address some of these needs at home? What needs to be done so that your goals, your specific goals, are met in Belize?
Well, I have another friend here who, we just spoke to her just Saturday, and she said, Babs, I collect clothes enough to send for this something that she have. I said, look, I got a lot. Then Jeanette said, I have. Then my other cousin said, I have. So I said, you know what? I said, I think now that I'm retired, I says, well, since I had retired in a sense that I had moved to Kissimmee, and then Mommy got sick, so I had to come back home here to take care of Mom. And right after that, Daniel got sick. I took care of him. So everything was standstill. Then I had COVID, so I hadn't done anything for a few years. So now that everything seems to be calm, I'm thinking of just see how I can get back into doing that again. Trying to get, I don't know how I'm going to do because I don't have a yard anymore, but maybe there's some way I could work through to get that. My friend Heather, I can work it through her because she does shipping as well. I could get people to bring and collect, and she said, Babs, don't worry, I could come and pick it up from you. But I like to spearhead things like that. I know what I want. And the same thing applies to when I want something done. I don't write letters. I would say to my brother Norman, I say, Norman, I want this done. Tell me what you want done. I would tell him more or less. He put it, Norman is perfectionist. Okay? He do what I want. My letters are out. Letters for school, letters are out. Scholarship letters are out. He does all that.
We will wrap up our conversation with Bob Renault after a word from our partners, Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust, the Barry, Shell Belize, and the National Gas Company.
The facilities at NGC have been engineered to the highest standards. No other LPG facility in this country has the technology, health and safety considerations, and accurate industry-accepted measurement technology as does NGC. Under the watchful eye of the control room, Bowsers are loaded with LPG to deliver to the 2 depots inland and to the many bulk storage facilities owned by customers all over the country, where the wholesale price is one single levelized national price. Now that NGC has entered the market, competition exists for the provision of LPG both at the wholesale level for acquisition and importation through a transparent tendering system and downstream by more than 30 retailers throughout the country.
The National Gas Company of Belize, fueling Belize forward.
Since 2008, the Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust has created opportunities for Belizeans to develop themselves and their communities. The Trust employs tools that are intuitive, collaborative, and accessible so that every Belizean is empowered to achieve their full potential. Over 200,000 Belizeans have been impacted because of our various initiatives. The Belize Natural Energy Charitable Trust, empowering Belizeans of today to create the Belize of tomorrow.
We are the Barry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio Cayo, Orange, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. The Barry. Get more? Be less.
Shell V-Power, with 3 times more cleaning and friction-reducing molecules. Go well! Go Shell!
It don't matter what part of the jewel you come from.
Now you have a good coordinating point in Belize City, because I think when I was talking with Glenda, she was telling me that a good coordinating point would be necessary in Belize. In other words, the stuff that you guys are sending across would go to this coordinating agency, and they would distribute it properly and give you the evidence that it's properly distributed.
Through the years, I have been doing that, and it goes to the Red Cross. Now, what I do...
The Red Cross is responsible.
Yeah, responsible. No, the Red Cross have different areas. Now, I have... Ms. Para also takes care of Orange Walk. Mm-hmm. Whatever I'm sending to the Red Cross in Belize, that's for Belize. I know I also have another set that goes directly to Orange Walk. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't do much for Belize in that sense. I do the help age. I see them, I visit them, I have meetings with them, we talk, they tell me what they need, and I try to accommodate them best I have. They have their Christmas parties and intent parties again, and they come through with her cupcakes, and I'm there with them. Glenda went to one of those with me on that too, the Christmas parties that they have there. And I like to do that. You know, I visit the sick. There's a lot of sick people there, you know, chat with them and stuff like that. But what I do with the Red Cross now, not too much in the city. I mostly do Orange Walk. I literally go to the little small villages. Mm-hmm. Yes, you see Orange Walk. Mm-hmm. I know a little bit more of Orange Walk. Mm-hmm. Addie said to me, twice she did say, B, when you come You wear a sneaker. I said, I like to wear my sneakers. I said, yeah. I said, but you have rubbers? I said, why? He said, because where I'm taking you, like, it's mud. No problem. Okay. This particular time, and I was amazed, this particular time, I did not know. He said, Babs, you know, yes, we have people here. They're picky. Me no want that. Me no want that. I said, Babs, don't worry about that. We have people that appreciate. We went to this special 2 places. And we went to this first, I don't know how much you know, I don't remember the young man though. Maybe you heard about it, some place where there was swamp or something, the little boy went to get water from the well.
Yeah, I know the place.
Fell in the well.
Yes, I'm familiar with that.
All right. That family, the mother works at the Keys. But she wanted me to see that particular house.
Okay.
Renee, you know the linoleum people put in there for that it's clay. The ground is clay. Part clay, part they live there for I don't know. It just breaks your heart to see that. And they started to tell me about the grandson fell in the thing to save somebody else, and he fell in the oh God. So my friend was with me, and he does carpeting. He said, Babs, you know, when I go back home, maybe I could find, I'll get some carpet and send. So I said, would you guys, if we send some, so I just said, don't worry about it. Whatever you send here, Babs, they're going to appreciate it, and they'll get it. And you know, we took the carpet, he got the carpet. We sent the carpet, and they got it, and they put it there. I went back to visit that same family.
And
They're still using it. Now, this other place I went to, she said, okay, it took me to another place. I'm visiting the school now, there. Okay. When I went there now, she took me to this family house. I didn't realize some of these people, they speak English and some, most of them Spanish. It's way back in Orange Walk. Ooh. They hugging me, and I said, you know what they're saying? Say, you call your baby. Say, you lovely, bonita. They're talking to me. So I don't know where that lunch, this big spread, luncheon, big pot on fire hot. Everybody cook. I'm saying to Hattie, I said, Hattie, when I'm leaving, I said, remind me to take, stop on the roadside to take some stuff to Annika. Annie cooks, and it's a caterer. So she said, don't worry about Babs, you're covered. The lady said to me, one of them speaks perfect English. She said, Mom, whatever you send in this village, whatever people don't want, is our joy, and we appreciate. I look at Hattie, I say, am I hearing right? And he said, yes, you're hearing right. He said, Babs, whatever you bring here, this is why I want you to see. It makes you feel good to want to do more. But one person can only do so much. I like to plan things, and I designate too, but I have to watch who I designate to, if you know what I'm saying. I mostly deal with my family, who understands me. You see, I have a friend who said to me, when I say, Cheryl, anytime you say, Cheryl, you want something, what do you want? Because when I talked about her, a Shirley girl, when I say, Cheryl, yes, what you want? How much you want? You know, she said, you do that beg. You're not tired beg. I said, that's the only way I can get it. I said, my family the same way. I don't care 10 cents. I don't care how much it is. One fills the basket. Yeah. I did the same thing. It was asked about the scholarships. When Daddy died, I said to Norman, I says, Norman, it would be nice if we could keep Daddy's, what he does, alive. I says, Norman says, what do you have in mind? I said, well, how about, I remember as a young kid, Mommy used to keep saying, hi, it's that Daddy talking about me now. Daddy never home on time, because he's at Bliss with the dance.
Yes. So Bliss got a Bliss.
So I said, you know what, so I remember I said, Daddy, I said, how much you charge? How much you charge? He never answered. When I get to find in later years, half of those kids that Daddy taught didn't pay a dime. Yeah. Didn't pay a dime. So I said to Norman, I learned that in later years. So now I said, Norman, I said, how about having scholarships for these dance kids, the kids that they're good, but they don't have the money to go to the class. I said, we could do that. And I say, that sounds like a good idea. I'll think about it. This is Norman.
Your brother.
My brother. He called me back. He says, I thought of something. How about incorporating that? I said, in what? He said, how about doing this dance group along with the scholarships for kids? I said, oh, that sounds like a good idea. I said, how can I do that? He said, okay. That's where you, that's me. He said, that's where you come in. You get some information to find out who needs. Right away, I already knew. Because Francis Lizama had already spoke to me when he found out I was doing all these things, sending stuff home. He said, Bob's girl, I have a family there that they're very poor and the kids are very bright, but they don't have the money to go to college or high school. So I said, Naaman, I said, okay, get the name, parents' name and everything. And Naaman said, what we need from these people, parents' name, the kids that are going to college, we want a letter from the kids themselves. They're going to college, so they're smart. Why you think you need this, so and so and so? And they sent it. So Naaman said, that's a start. I started with Ladyville, 2 graduates from Ladyville. I had 2 from York, 1 from St. John's College, 3 from St. Catherine's, 2 from Wesley College, and 1 from Nazarene that just graduated.
Well, that's great. That's
on the Bob Renault Scholarship Fund. Not only that, when I do my fundraiser, the money what I get from that too goes, every year I take that money to pay to the dance school for the kids that cannot afford for the dance class. Now the young lady that's there, she's not there anymore. The Althea took it over. So like I said, COVID kind of put a clinch and everything, so that had stopped. But I'm hoping I can revamp that again and bring that back into it, because I understand that they're opening back the dance studio. I even asked that question, how do you pick the girls that don't need it? Say, well, they go, same thing with the schools. A lot of the kids, they want to dance. Parents don't have the money to pay. So we want them to dance. Belize needs that. We have beautiful kids. We have beautiful culture. We need to showcase our culture. What way do we can help?
We need to love our country more, right?
Yes, I mean, I like what I do, you know?
You get to visit other areas in Belize when you go and do these things.
I go all over.
You go all over the place. Can you tell me that you're not more than all over the place?
Yes. But the same lady that I was telling you about with the 2 kids that graduated, I was supposed, Francis was taking me back there to see her. We were taking school stuff back to her. We had to turn back. His van, his Jeep could not go. It was so muddy back there. And now, from what she was telling me, they built up some houses back there. Now they gave them free housing or something like that. But they go and they build the house themselves. A whole bunch of people get together. Yeah, I helped you build yours. You helped me build it. I guess you know about that.
I think yeah.
Yes. And now both kids have graduated. The little young man, he's in the BDF. And the little girl is studying something. Both of them graduated with honors from the school in Ladyville.
It feels good when you help someone and you can sit back and look at your efforts.
I just sort of spearhead, and I get good people to do this. Donna Marie, she said, Babs, I can help. Elena Gab, with these people, because you get letters, and they put the name. The name is there, how much they put for these kids, and all the money is pulled together and divided. It's put together, everything that we get is put together and divided. You get that? Then I visit each parent. Each parent. No money goes to no parent. I pay the school. I take that money myself to the school. When you say I go to Belize, I have 3 days just to do that. Then after that,
you can relax and enjoy yourself.
I do that first. I make sure I do. Annie has the contact to pick up my stuff from customs, whatever I have to do. I do things ahead of time. They know I'm coming. They prepare for me. And everybody, I can't complain when I go home at all.
I'm sure. You live a full life, Barbara.
Not only, people treat me with respect. They're happy to see me when I go home. I'm happy to see them. A lot of people, they even thank me for what I do. Good work, B. Good work. Most of the people call me B. Good work, B. Good work, B. I'm happy to do what I do.
That's the main thing.
But not only me now. I have my entourage. My family is my biggest supporter.
And when you're happy doing what you're doing, it's because you're in love with what you're doing.
Yeah, and then I get my encouragement from my mom. At Christmas time, you wouldn't know because you don't come to my house, but I have where I have like, I make arrangements for people. I did that once. I had it, where did I have it? Someplace in my house. I said, my dad says, Daddy say, you make that pet? I say, yes. You need to do more of that pet. Well, you think you're good? They say, that's very good, daughter. That's very good. Daddy telling me that. My dad encouraged me to do stuff. My dad says I'm gifted in doing that. He never says that not look good. He would say maybe add a little something. I would have the idea here, but I don't know how to like put it together. And then when it's done, it's yes. Yes, and I encourage, like my granddaughter is doing this dancing thing, and we encourages her. He said, girl, you're just like your grandfather. That's the only one you did chip off the old block, just like.
Your daddy's girl.
Well, daddy have a lot of girls, but I'm the one that like take after him with that. I had a Miss Beggar and dog foot, as they say, you got dog foot, you don't stay home.
You started off telling me that you're very active and what have you.
Exactly. But I love what I do. I love my people. I love when I can go home and like for example, I go to the market and they say, good morning. That I must be. I just say good morning. They don't know it's me. Now I go home to my people and I say, okay, we all got there. Anything you want, Miss B, we got. I just say good morning and don't know because I like it from the kitchen too. I have some friends you could never get enough eat in no market. What? B, you go in the market? I say, why not? I'll eat in the market.
You eat in the market, right? Yeah.
I eat in the market. I support my Belizeans.
Well, it's the most beautiful country in the world anyway, with beautiful people, right?
I'm out of Stan Creek, I go,
Look at you, you're a product of Belize.
Well, I don't know, but I love what I do. I love my people, That's right. And thanks to my dad and my family, and because I'm a dad, I get the encouragement from my grandmother as well. My granny, she, I like to tease my grandmother. I like to just say, Granny, which one of your grandchildren you like the best? I tell in her ears. My granny say, I love all my grandchildren.
That's the correct answer, the diplomatic answer and the correct answer.
She doesn't speak Creole at all.
Yeah.
My granny says, I love all my grandchildren.
And it's all about love, right? Right. Well,
for my family, I'm the one that's the funny one. That's always, they say, you always talking. I said, well, you have to make people laugh. Why do you need to be sad all the time?
You see, like your dad, you talk a lot. You're a broadcaster as well.
You think so?
Yeah, because, your dad couldn't talk and talk. And
yeah,
talk,
non-stop.
Yeah.
You wind it up, right?
Yes. So you got a lot of his characteristics indeed.
Yes.
You nearly look like him too.
You think so?
Yeah.
Somebody said that the other day.
Yes, you look like him.
Well, Bob Reneau, no? We come from there. And we're bande.
You're bande. Like what the man said.
Bande.
You sing too? You want to sing a lead song for me? You want to sing a lead song for me before we go? If you're bande, tell me that you're bande.
You have to sing with me, man. You're bande, tell them that you're bande, you're bande. Tell them that you're bande.
So if you're bande, you're bande.
Right? Yes.
And you're always there because you're always there with you.
I'm there with me. I love my people. And stay with me. I can't wait to go home and see what's going on.
But when you listen to a radio station, we talk about love, right?
You do?
I ask you, you listen to it?
Your radio station?
Yeah.
I have to, you know what? I have this phone and I'm not too savvy with this phone. My granddaughter get rid of my regular phone and she give me this iPhone.
Stream again?
I'll have to learn.
But you know, we have one thing where we say, right?
Yes, sir.
We say thanks for choosing love.
Thanks for choosing love, my darling. Yes, sir.
Okay, you could choose anything, you know.
But I choose you, darling.
Choose me. I love.
I love, and I love you too. Okay. Love television. You that boy.
You know what I mean? All right, so that's why we keep and you know how we.
I like that. I like that. Yes.
You like the love, right?
Yes, man. Yeah.
Well, Barbara, it was so much a pleasure talking with you, right? And and reminiscing about your dad, I totally enjoyed it. It took me back, like I said, to my early days. That would have been way back in 1968, January 15, 1968, when I started at Radio Belize. Way back there, right? I like your connection with the Red Cross, and the fact that you mentioned Mrs. Arthur Courtney, because I don't know if you know that I was a member of the executive of the Belize Red Cross when Mrs. Courtney was there.
She knows my dad very well. So she took me right under her wing, and yes, she took me under her wing all right. Yes. She was pleased of what I was doing. She encourages me too. Another great Belizean. I know, I will call her Belizean. Mrs. Courtney, yes. Mrs. Arthur Courtney was a great person. So, you know, it's good to, you brought back two great memories. Also, a special thanks to the folks that sent those things at home. You know? He died now, though, with, so I'm trying to remember his name from the airport that sends all the packages home. We also get a discount from him. Yeah, but once you love Belize, right? That's the main thing, right? We do it all. We do it all. We do anything for Belize. Anything for Belize. And our family, of course. Definitely. Without our family, too, that's a big support. Yeah. So it's all about love. And what do we say? Belize and beyond. Thanks for choosing love.
Belize Watch. Knowledge of the past, impacting the present, building the future.
Celebration time. It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You that you